telecommunication tariff hike. Federal government blames 50% of tariff hike on inflation and operational cost. Why? So why can't the government cut down the inflation? Why can't the government set the system in a manner that operational costs can be dropped? Okay, because this idea of putting tariff hike by 50%, can you imagine? So if you used to buy 1,000 naira data, it's going to be 1,500. If you used to buy 1,000 airtime, it's going to be 1,500. Why? Now, the implication of this is that because of poverty and high cost of living and just name it, all forms of negative economic vices biting the people, a lot of parents have dropped their children from school. They can't pay the school fees, and a lot have resorted to online education. And now the online education that is being supported by the ICT is now the IT side of the economy that now they don't want to frustrate again. So that those that have resorted to online academic pursuit will no longer be able to afford it again. So what is the business of this government? To just kill everywhere that the poor man is surviving from. Because that is what it means. That is exactly what it means. Yeah? The people are not able to go to school. People are not able to go to work. They are resorting to online education to help themselves. You are also pursuing them into that side to go and cause problem. And you are blaming the tariff hike on inflation. Who is in charge of inflation? Who controls inflation? Man, this government is something else. I have to say the truth. This is unacceptable. Now, the Minister of Communication, Innovation and Digital Economy, Boso Tijani, has stated that inflation and rising operation costs should be blamed for the 50% increase in tariff by telecommunication companies. So who is in charge of this inflation now that is causing this problem? That is the question. It's not Tinubu's government. And are you not, Tijani, are you not part of this same government? So he argued that the increment is in tandem with broader economic patterns, adding that the federal government plans to invest 6 billion naira for the deployment of 90,000 kilometers of fiber optic cable. He stated this is necessary. To expand the country's capacity from 35,000 kilometers to 125,000 kilometers. Can you imagine these people? They talk. They are full of promises and propaganda. When you go and check now, nothing will happen. They will do that. They will reap the proceed, and you will not see where the money will enter. Exactly the same way they said they were going to remove first subsidy. The savings they said they have made, or rather the amount of money they have recovered from first subsidy removal. Where is the money? What have they done with it? All the EFCC loots that have been recovered, or rather the loots that the EFCC have recovered, where are the recovered funds? We don't know. All the Abacha loots that are recovered now, US is about to also pay back some part of a Desianis loots that located in the US. Where are all these monies going into? We don't know. Now you want to do more. They increase the electricity tariff. We don't know what they're doing with the excess money now that they're getting from increase of electricity tariff. Now they have gone to telecommunications. God will help Nigeria. So Tijani stated this when he appeared before the National Assembly Joint Committee on Communication to defend the 2025 budget of his ministry. So according to him, because outside of South Africa and maybe Egypt, perhaps Tunisia, a lot of countries have a serious deficit in cable. This is going to become a big business. We want Nigeria companies not only to lay in Nigeria, but become companies that will provide these services for neighboring countries as well. Now, lie, he don't woo the National Assembly now, so that they can approve for him. At the end of the day, you're not going to see where the money will enter. And we want our people to become the employees that will go out and do this work. We've seen more companies like South Africa being off the back of global businesses, so they can now create security, but not only have to. So this is something we focus on. On security, we've seen a problem. You cannot secure a society if you don't have strong communications. English, you don't enter. So, and what most people don't pay attention to is that historically we have left investment of telecommunications infrastructure to private companies, and these private companies will only go to where they can make money with it. Okay, so in fact they use a data set which is called nighttime satellite data, which will look down on the economy at night. Can you imagine? So are you saying there's no activities happening at night? And they will see where light exists, and that is where they will put their money, because those lights for them indicate economic activities. Can you imagine what I'm saying? So this Tijani now is trying to tell us that the only reason that they're doing this Bosu Tijani is because of inflation. That's why they're increasing it. So all of this is just to justify the budget that is making for 2025 for his ministry. Can you imagine? At the end of the day now, where did you spend the money? We don't know. Because at the end of the day, these citizens that don't have means of livelihood, that are managing to survive, that are the same people that will pay for this 50% hike. Not government, not anybody, not even the company. The individuals buying recharge card, buying data, okay, to do their legitimate businesses or activities, they are the same people that we pay this money. God will help Nigeria, I'm telling you. This is quite unfortunate. So the question now is that Tinubu government, exactly what he said when he was coming, that Nigerians have so much money in their hands that we need to remove money in their hands. By the time you remove, reduce or withdraw their purchasing power, then they will reset. That is exactly what Tinubu's administration is now doing to Nigeria. Even though Buhari government was bad and we thought we had seen it all, not knowing that the worst was yet to happen. No wonder Buhari said when he was leaving that we will miss him. But personally, I won't miss him because his government was also very, very terrible. It's just unfortunate that instead of, getting redeemed from that predicament brought in by Buhari's government, Tinubu has rather worsened it. And that is the only promise that Tinubu is fulfilling, the promise he made to continue from where Buhari stopped. And look at where we are today. We thought this Sampantami, when he was doing NIN and doing all forms of registration, causing problems in society, he just said they want to track bandits and the people who are causing, insecurity in Nigeria, insurgency. Only for him to finish all the nonsense he has done, he has not been able to catch even one single bandit with the NIN. Now, Bosun Tijani has come to do his own now, and this is where he wants to pitch his tent, simply because he's looking for justification for the 2025 budget in his for his ministry. This is not acceptable. I'm telling you, Nigerians need to look inwards and see what this government is doing to all of us. So thank you for listening, and let's have your comment. Complain of inflation. Meanwhile, there are the people in charge of inflation. They can bring it down. There are other things that can be done to curb inflation, but they're not doing it. Rather than, satisfying their selfish interest even with the budget they say they are raising. Quite unfortunate.